Greetings from the past before the time travels, and welcome back to another episode of The Ladder. My name is Ty, and we're about to hear what Sir Andrew has to say about the Anselm village.
How did you...
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study. But fascinating. It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job at explaining topics like this one compared to me. Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
You don't believe in those stories, sir?
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history, and it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
What about me?
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing. In the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
My head is starting to spin from all of this. I'm not the smartest person around, but I understand what he's trying to get at. I think it's still too much to take in at once. I look to Ash for help, but his eyebrows are drawn in a frown. If he keeps staring like that at his cup, I'm pretty sure it will crack soon.
There's still something you're not telling.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights. Then you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
They don't have anything to do with this.
Rights? Luke and Hannah, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who got the place.
I'm not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want when they set their eyes on it, from what I've heard. Word gets around.
Okay. A heavy sigh escapes my lips. Popular or not, they are just my clients. Albeit a little pushy, but just clients. End of story. I wish he'd stop pestering me about them. Shut up, Bush. I'm going to whiff. I know you're trying to help. Because I don't want to insult him. Oh, we're in a relationship. It's getting up there. I wonder when we start to get Hannah and Luke up. What is it again that Becca does when dealing with a particularly difficult child? The pesky, annoying child? I wish I could remember. I could certainly use the same trick right about now.
Ashton, look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed. The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
Your working relationship with them.
About a week from now?
Okay.
It depends on how long the papers will take, but they want us to rush it.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent. If yes, then I don't see a problem with it. Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
What? Why? It's my job.
Oh lord, even my younger siblings aren't this difficult to deal with. Then again, Ash is far from a younger sibling to me. If he'd only spell it out, surely I'd understand. We wouldn't even have to talk about it right now. That's how it is, right? Find an even ground, talk about it like the adults we are. It wasn't like this before, but somewhere along the way, something has changed in us, as people, as friends. I wish there is a way I could tell when or why. Instead, I'm left searching blindly for reasons. The next thing we know, we will be drifting further and further apart. How frustrating.
Now, kids, settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
True story.
Sorry, Sir Andrew.
And we're not going to solve anything either if you keep omitting things.
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite. I see that hasn't changed.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student? I'm sorry, I need to ask. He doesn't talk much about that.
And there's a reason why. Please don't.
Oh.
Tried to sleep on the first day of class. He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest. I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
By the end of the conversation, Ash looks like he's praying for the ground to swallow him. He's never been one to talk about himself. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I've gleaned over the years. He's an altruistic singer, he's bad at art, and he has a personal vendetta against mornings. Atrocious singer, I'm sorry. Now? Now it feels he isn't that hard to figure out after all. It's past noon when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting. But before we separate...
Miss Santos, a word of advice. Just keep in mind that when it comes to cases such as this, they aren't always what they seem.
Naturally, the mansion and the letter was brought up several times during the talk. And though Ash's right in that Andrew offers a different perspective, he has left me with more questions than answers instead. What is she? What does she want from me? Is she ever going to leave? They all continue to bug me after we've left the coffee shop. I don't even notice when Ash takes a different turn on our way back.
Where are we going? You can drop me off at the park.
Guess. You have 3 chances.
No.
I'm serious, Ash. Where are we
On
going?
a date? He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops his car in front of a small, nondescript food stall a little ways away from the movie house. Oh, yeah, he wants her to treat him. Oh, okay, I get it. If I wasn't paying closer attention, I would have missed it without a doubt. He motions for me to wait as he gets off the car and walks in its direction. Sheesh! If you want to buy something, just say it. No need to make yourself look mysterious. It makes you look more like a dork than cool. The wait isn't long, however. Soon he's walking back, holding 2 fish-shaped cones in both hands. Ice cream, parfait, a cross of the 2. By the time he's back inside the car, I've given up any effort to figure out what he bought. Not that it looks bad. It's actually quite cute.
Here, take it.
I have to move my head back a little when he thrusts it on me, to avoid the ice cream and the fruit toppings from ending up on my nose.
What's this for?
Ow.
My arm's getting tired. 5, 4, 3, 2.
With a wary glance, I take it off his hands. I still don't understand why there's a need for ice cream today. Nevertheless, I take a small bite. It's actually pretty good. It must have shown in my face, because he chuckles as soon as I take another one.
Saw the place open the other day when we watched Zach's movie. Thought I should give it a try. It doesn't seem like a bad place to get food from time to time.
And you're giving me free ice cream because...
Do I need to have a reason?
Are you really going to ask me that?
Here's the thing with Ashton Frey. He does not just treat anyone to free food because he feels like it. He's that much of a Scrooge. Hell, he even asked me to teach him how to haggle once. Haggle! Of all the people who'd ask me that! I'd have expected such a request from Becker, but Ash? Not at all. If I'm going to be honest, he looks a bit constipated with that expression on his face right now. I think he's starting to regret ever buying this. Oh.
The other day? The movie with Zach and Rebecca? Rebecca's there, yeah, I think so. Yeah, anyway, during the movie, we, that's to say, we...
Oh.
Shit. Should have written down something first.
Get to the point, Ashton.
Right. I'm sorry.
What?
Not I'm sorry for, not getting to the point. I'm sorry for the other day. I got carried away. I said things that upset you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay? That's all? That's all you're going to say?
No.
You're not still angry, are you?
You didn't have to buy me anything. A simple sorry would have been enough.
I bite into the cone again. A small attempt to keep myself occupied and relieve the heat crawling up my face. No, it doesn't work, but at least I don't have to look at him. Why am I feeling embarrassed over an apology? I have no idea. It's not like it wasn't called for. They were being mean, especially him. And in that fraction of a second, it hits me. He skipped his day off just for today. I should be the one apologizing and thanking him. Silence is an awkward company while we finish our respective snacks. There are words for this. For people like us, for understandings and sentiments like this. Yet, in this instant, they won't come. As promised, he drops me off at the park right after, phrases unsaid still hanging heavily in the air. No! In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. Where children are usually seen running around and playing, there are now people lying, leaning back on their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. No. The smell of food drifts from nearby carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one would catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. Grass? Wow. Maybe I should try walking home today, to get my mind off things. To try and find the words somehow. I haven't done it in a while.
Thanks, Ash, for today.
No problem.
Oh.
Say hi to Rebecca for me.
Yeah, I will.
Even so, I linger. We both do. A mild, humid breeze brings the smell of dried leaves, warmed earth, and a far distant memory of false starts and awkward first meetings. Same place, same people playing the same parts. Funny, how of all the days my brain chooses to remember it now.
Wait, Belle.
Ash exits his car. His striding are unsteady when he approaches me. Or maybe this is his uncertainly showing. I'm not quite sure. He has never looked uncertain to me before. Always calm, always sure, always collected. Oh. He stops a short distance from me, close enough that he's within arm's reach, but just far enough for his voice to be heard over decent small talk, if this is what it's going to be. He fumbles for something in his pockets.
Here, catch.
The small bag lands cleanly on my outstretched hands before it hits the ground. Oh, I like the charm. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he responds by shrugging and stuffing both his hands back to his pockets. I thought he doesn't believe in stuff like that, huh, Ashton? Oh, so sweet. Somewhere to the side, he finds an interesting spot to look at. Sometimes you have to wait, Papa said long ago. For once, this time, I listen. His voice is halting, hesitant, when he finds it again.
My mom used to make me carry around one of those when I was young. To ward off evil and bring you luck, she said. I don't believe in this stuff now, but if it makes you feel safe since you're a total scaredy cat, then I guess it's okay to give you one to carry around.
Oh, perhaps at the moment there aren't any words for it. I've never been good with those. But right now, I could thank him in the best way I know. Save. You're not bad after all. You can be nice when you're trying. You're not bad after all. I close the short distance separating us. Ooh. And lightly, in place of phrases one couldn't spin together or answers too early to seek out, I lean over. Ow! That's super cute! I ship them so much! I thought this is a horror novel! And give him a little peck on the cheek. The touch is short, fleeting. The kind that speaks volumes of boundaries we don't often cross as friends. Nevertheless, the thought is there. It lingers. In the gentle autumn wind that passes, in the empty space separating us when I step back and look up at him with a smile. It's easy to express gratefulness this way, isn't it? At least, with my own family, that's the case. For the two of us, I'm not quite sure. Did he understand? After all, gratitude is considerably harder to put into words when you spend the later half of your friendship teetering between good-natured jests and ruffling each other's feathers. Seconds pass before he clears his throat. His face has gone remarkably red, whether from the heat or something else, I can't quite tell. But he understands. I know he does. Because the smile on him when he finally meets my eyes is the gentlest I've seen him show.
I, gotta go. Got some reports I forgot to file the other day.
No, and the relationship has gone up, of course.
Yeah, see you around. Thanks for the ice cream and the charm.
Don't lose it. You won't find one here again if you do.
I won't. I might move like I have 2 left feet, but I know how to take care of my own stuff. I'm not a total klutz.
I know.
And Belle, remember that one time? Devlin Court?
What? Oh, I do. With all the clarity in the world.
You... At the time, when we...
What?
What I'm trying to say is that you can rely on me. If something... anything happens. Not the exact same thing, of course, but... you get the idea. I'll be around.
I'll keep that in mind. You're not that bad after all.
Before leaving, he waves at me one last time. The next time we talk, we'll be back to the way we are. Because at the end of the day, that's how things have always moved between us. What we're familiar with, what we're comfortable with. But for all that, it's always easy to put my own faith in him. I just hope I can keep them safe. Keep him safe. Aw, you're so sweet. Professor Clark, Ashton Frey, and Isabel Santos meet up at a coffee house to discuss the rumors surrounding the mansion. The professor warned the young woman not to take everything at face value. Before parting ways at the park, Ashton gave Isabella a charm that supposedly wards off evil to help put her mind at ease. No. A light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and the distant smell of earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good? I need to visit the grocery too. Come to think of it, wasn't there an art store that opened recently near the park? Dot dot dot. No, sudden change. The cat's name is Berufio. What? Or at least that's what his collar says. It's an odd name to give a cat in my opinion. But it speaks grace much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes following my hand's every movement. Where did the cat come from suddenly? I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me after all. It wasn't a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride home. Oh. In hindsight, perhaps I should have bought all of these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home, they are considered ill omens. Oh, come on.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted gracefully in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brothers and a sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to tell me a little troublemaker before. Oh, to call me, I'm sorry. Well, graceful or not, there's no use mopping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of its paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. My hands stop.
Do you want one?
He doesn't meow again, as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift a piece to my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs at it once, twice before...
Berufia!
Oh! Look who's there. Like a good, properly trained pet, Berufia responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCullough, hard to miss, what with her height.
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you?
Oh,
Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Are you
McCullough.
harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Berufio's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Berufio's a she.
Oh, she? All this time I thought... The pause in the conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We are merely 2 people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simply nodding of heads is enough. But before we make this decision, it's time to end the episode. Thank you so much for watching, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. If you're already subscribed, click on the notification bell down below so you can notified when I upload my videos. Share us on Twitter and Facebook, and guess what, miss you in the future are back in the ladder. High five! cat is so cute. No.